Hey everybody! This is call number 8. So this is the last of our Southern Romantics New Consultant webinar training calls. This week's topic is going forward, and this is going to help our new consultants kind of plan for their future now that they, for the most part, have completed this training. Some of them might still pop up on the next round of calls, but just to kind of help lay a path for what's next in your business. So for many of you that are on, hey Cindy,
hey.
For those of you that might be watching on YouTube, you will be, what was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so many of you have been in business for at least 60 days by now, which is awesome and exciting. And at that point, that's usually when I lovingly cut the umbilical cord and watch you fly away because you've become a beautiful butterfly. But I'm always home. Like, this is always the little nest, and you can always come back here and ask questions. But as far as training goes, this is kind of wrapping up the official new consultant training. And then I move on to the next batch of new consultants. So this is when you are no longer a new consultant. Deal with it. And because I love you, I'm going to put you on mute, Cindy. Only because I know your husband, and I know he's going to try to talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Boop. Here we go. All right. So the first thing, well, I should probably unmute you because this is a question and answer. So unmute. All right. So the first thing is, where are you in your business headed, and are you on track with your goals? I can't answer that for you. So Cindy, are you on track with the goals that you set for yourself in your business?
Since I kind of set goals a little later that I feel that I am, I do have my first party this Saturday, so I'm pretty excited. And my goal from that is at least to get 2 parties booked from that first party.
Awesome.
And what I'm really going to use is how we have our new product launch coming out. My goal is going to be to get more people to book parties.
Okay.
Awesome. And with building my inventory, I've got that going. I placed another order today to get more inventory in, so hopefully more sales that way.
Okay. Fantastic. Yay. Awesome, awesome. Well, we just had Sarah May join us. So she is our girl down in Texas. So welcome, Sarah. I don't know if you can hear me, but Cindy, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you for sticking with this training and for accomplishing so much within your first, I guess, almost 90 days of business now, because I know you signed up in September. But I'm excited to see how all this foundation that we've laid, how it pans out for you. So now this is when I'm going to mute you guys and continue on with our training. The first topic we're going to talk about tonight is staying a student. That's a motto that our founder, Patty Brisbane, always reminds you. And the reason that we have so many training opportunities is for you to stay a student. The great thing about our line of products is technology is always changing and regulations are always changing. So it's exciting because there's always going to be something new, but it's going to be something that our customers need and want. And wanting to make sure that we get that information out to them in a timely fashion is fantastic. So staying a student, learning more about your career path and your line of work, and knowing what's happening within the industry is really important for you to be a fantastic consultant and for you to be the best consultant you can be. So our little motto is show up to go up. We have a little cutout that we have at our team meetings where you can hold it up and it says, I show up to go up. So really focus in 2016 and beyond as you're growing in your business and as you start charting out where you want your business to go, make sure you're prioritizing those training opportunities. And Pure Romance is fantastic about making sure that those are readily available to you. So even if you are long distance or if you don't have a team near you or God forbid you're sick, there's still training available to you. So some examples of staying a student is by attending our team meetings. So we hold those on Mondays every month here in Greenville, South Carolina. But what's great is that even if you live far away, there's other meetings that we can put you and plug you into to make sure that there's a meeting close to you where you're still getting good information and you're also being able to network with other consultants. Corporate trainings. Pure Romance Corporate is amazing with bringing those trainings to us. So the Empowerment Summit, the bus tour that's happening in January all month long, is going to be a fantastic opportunity for you to stay a student. I know that there's a handful of us here in the upstate. We're lucky because we're in a really great location where we can easily reach Atlanta, Columbia, Charlotte, and some people I know are going down to the Charleston one and also the Raleigh training here in the Carolinas region. But usually corporate sends out about 3 to 4 bus tours a year, and they don't do that just for fun. They're doing that to make sure that we are learning more and that we're going to increase our sales. And at the end of the day, it puts more money in our pocket. So that is always a great thing as a pure romance consultant. Not only do they do the bus tours that bring the training to us, but corporate also puts on 2 big training events every year. So we've got World Conference this spring that'll be in Orlando, and that's going to be at the end of March, beginning of April. And then our national training, which is going to be in August in Cincinnati. So I always recommend every consultant, new, experienced, I want you guys to show up to those events because you are going to get so motivated. The speakers are top notch. And there's just so many opportunities to learn. I love touring the corporate offices and seeing where the people on the other side of the computer live and respond to us, and getting to meet the people who help run the corporate structure that really support our business is just so fantastic. This company is so into their consultants and they reward us so much that it's always nice to see them and thank them in person, but also get great information and networking and hanging out with your sister consultants. Just the fellowship's fan-friggin-tastic. So even if you lived in Timbuktu, you can still get a ton of great information online. So the COO, or the corporate back office, has amazing online training. The new party school that they launched this year has been extremely helpful for a lot of new consultants right out of the gate, especially if they join in between meetings or they can't make it to a meeting if it doesn't work with their schedule. So being able to do party school online, but also getting to kind of check out the community pages and go into that new consultant corner, that's amazing for you to stay a student. So if you haven't done your party school yet, I highly encourage you to. Conference calls. Conference calls might seem to be going the way of the dinosaur, but they still exist, and we've got a lot of them on tape. So in your team handbook that you received when you joined our team, there is a section on conference calls, and we've noted ones that we recommend that you listen to first. I think those are really fantastic, especially if you are driving long distances for your parties. Just plug those in and just listen to them as you drive. I think that's a great way to kind of get training on the go. So if that's something that you're into, go for it. And then always staying a student by reading up on the business. So reading our books that we offer, a lot of the kits come with the Pure Romance Between the Sheets, which is the book that Patty Brisbane wrote. If you hadn't had a chance to read that, I do recommend it. It kind of goes into why the company was founded, but also a lot of the questions your customers might have could be answered in there. So that's a great resource to you. And just learning more about the books that we offer. So we've got a great book on massages, a great book called Tickle is Pickle. Tickle Your Fancy is worth its weight in gold. It's fantastic. If you haven't read it yet, be sure that you add that to your demo. And staying a student on what we offer. So being able to read up if it's something that you're not quite sure, maybe it's a line of products that you've never experienced and you might have a lot of questions about it, just doing your own research online or finding books on that particular subject might be really interesting. I know a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, I went to a great conference up in DC that was all it's called Catalyst Con, and it was extremely sex positive and it was very informative. But they definitely talked about a lot of topics specifically for same-sex couples and bondage, that I wasn't quite as familiar with. So going there was really helpful for me to stay a student, and I got some really amazing books that I could then read up on and learn how to be a better consultant just by educating myself on areas that I might not have been as familiar with before I started my Pure Romance journey. Another great thing to remember as you're your own boss and you want to continue with Pure Romance and be the best consultant you can be is to manage your time effectively. Time management can be really difficult for a lot of consultants, and understandably so. Many consultants, especially on our team, are doing Pure Romance part-time in addition to real life. So be it a 9 to 5, be it raising a family, whatever your situation is, we totally understand that you've got a lot of things going on. That's just how life operates. But managing your time so that Pure Romance is getting the attention that it deserves so that you can get what you want out of it, making sure you're realistic in that, as your goal setting is super important. But if you want Pure Romance to bring in $3,000 of income to you every single month, then you have to make sure you give it the time that it needs to bring in $3,000. If you only give it $100 worth of time, then that's all it's going to bring you. There is a great book called Eat That Frog, and I know it's somewhere up on my bookshelf, but it's called Eat That Frog, and it's by Brian Tracy. That is a fantastic book. If time management is new for you, then that's a great one to start with. Please excuse the fact that I'm already in my pajamas for the evening. But let me grab a couple of these. Whee! Okay. So, if you didn't already know, I'm a huge book nerd, especially when it comes to my business, because I want to be the best entrepreneur I can be and also make sure that I get the quality of life that I want. So here is what Eat That Frog looks like. If you hate reading, get Audible. My husband swears by it. He loves books on tape. He listens to them all the time when he's driving or working out. I know this is, you can get it as a book on tape off of Amazon or anything like that, but this is good. He also wrote a book. It's not really time management, but it's kind of a follow-up. It's called Kiss That Frog, and it's turning negatives into positives. Good stuff, especially because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we're going to have rough times, y'all. So making sure you're not letting yourself kind of sink into that hole and bringing yourself out of it is fantastic. And this is another one that he wrote. It's called No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline. Oh my gosh. If that is an issue for you, that was a huge issue for me. I thought by being my own boss, I'd get to take naps every day. I haven't taken a nap in the middle of the day, hey, Rue Bear, in a very long time. So, but that's good. So this helped me manage my calendar better too, so that I knew what I needed to accomplish on a daily basis. Now, Julie Morgenstern wrote this great book called Time Management from the Inside Out. This is a book that I know Cindy Faulkner swears by. This was one of our required readings for the Future Leaders course that I took a couple years ago with Pure Romance. This is the foolproof system for taking control of your schedule and your life. This is amazing. If time management is an issue for you, get this book. This changed my business. After I did Future Leaders, I didn't commit to reading the whole entire thing because I was like, oh, I don't have time to read this book on time management, right? And then I took Cindy Faulkner's class 2 years ago, and then I started plotting out my entire schedule, and it was, so read it. It's amazing. Oh my gosh. I just need to set up a library for you guys to come check out these books. But a great way to kind of get a handle on how you can best manage your time is to write it down. So if you have, like I use Google Calendar, that's good for me. But even if you just get a day planner or you print out on a spreadsheet, just block out your day in hour-long chunks. Do it from, midnight to midnight for a week. And it's just like if you kept a food log or, a timesheet at work. If you notice that you're on Facebook for 30 minutes in the morning, I want you to schedule that in. I want you to track everything you do for a week and then look at where the holes are, where you weren't doing anything or where you got sucked into the TV or when you got sucked into Facebook, because we all got sucked into Facebook. Oh my God, it's still one of my biggest issues. But list everything you do over the course of a day and a week and maybe even a month. And then I want you to start coloring the things that make you money. So if you have a job, you're going to plot that out. If you have a book club, you're going to plot that out. But then take a highlighter to it. Highlighters are the best things ever. And anything that's currently making you money, if it's a party, if it's your follow-up calls, anything to do with Pure Romance, I want you to color it so it jumps out. And I want you to look at that and see it. Is that enough time to be giving to this one opportunity that's going to make me more money, or do I need to give it a little bit more time? Or are you giving it so much time but the return you're getting is not so great? Like, it's taking up all your time and you're not getting paid for all that time. So that's a great way for you to kind of see where your time goes, but also how much more time you need to give to this business. One of the things I actually had Cindy do when she was my assistant is write down all the things that I asked her to do on a daily and weekly basis. I had a list of things I knew I wanted her to do, but I didn't know how much time each of those took. So, you know, when she worked with me, it was 3 hours, 3 times a week. So it was 9 hours total. And I always had a list, but I didn't know if that was enough time to do everything that I was asking. There were some days where I was able to send her home early. There were some days where I was like, why can't you stay here forever? So much crap for you to do. So to be able to get a good, true reading on how much time that actually is going to take helps you use your time more effectively. If you need to take an hour a day to check Facebook for your business, you might be pushing a little bit. You don't need to be on Facebook checking your business for an hour, all right? If that hour is better spent calling people and booking parties, make sure you're giving that an hour versus checking your Facebook. And then if you're at the point where you feel confident enough to delegate, can you delegate some of that stuff? So that was one of the reasons why hiring an assistant for me was a better use of my time, because with like my stack of customer connection cards after a month, I didn't need to spend that time filing them or following via Facebook, sending them a link. Like if I could delegate this to somebody else, then I could, especially when it comes to like paperwork and the busy work, that's the stuff that I love doing because you don't have to think about it, but that's not the stuff that makes me money. So I need to delegate that kind of stuff out and focus my time and attention on the things that help me make money, and that's picking up the damn phone. And that's going to be it for each of you guys. So if it's something where you can hire someone to come in, or if you're spending 6 hours stamping all your stuff, can you get your husband to do that while you're watching TV together on Sunday nights? Can you guys, like, what can you do if it's late at night? Can you push that off? Like if it's prime phone call time, don't be stamping your catalogs. Call people, get those parties booked. Something that was said to me and reinforced through here, and it's really hard for me to do, this is going to be a constant struggle, is touch it once. So literally touch it once. We just had Jamie hop on. Hello, Jamie. I love you, but you're on mute. So just listen in. So touching it once is a great thing to keep in mind for your business. So if you have like a stack of order forms and a stack of these guys, these customer connection cards, you don't need to be referring back to these 3 times before you put them away. Pick it up, put it where it needs to go on your computer or wherever you file, and then put it away. Touch it once. Don't keep going back to these things. When you get your order forms after your parties, put it in your spreadsheets, put it in your COO, do everything, and then file it away. And don't deal with it again unless you absolutely need to. Touch it once. Don't waste time going back to something 6 times. Use that time for something else. Developing a system for processing orders, or even how you run your business, can be super beneficial to you as a business owner. That way you're not spending all this extemporaneous hours freaking out, but developing a system, especially for how you process orders at the end of a party or how you enter them into something. If you need examples of that, hang out with me for more than an hour and I will show you exactly what I do. Or better yet, I'll probably ask you to do it for me, because acts of service are my love language. So if you want to hang out with me and file my stuff for me, I will love you forever. And setting specific office hours are really important to you as a business owner. One of the things that my husband actually complained about a lot when we first got married, you know, we were just dating and shortly engaged when I first started, well, a little after I started Pure Romance. And those first couple months, he understood how passionate I was about this and how I wanted to succeed. But after a while, that kind of grated on him because he missed me, because I was spending all my time living and breathing Pure Romance, which a lot of new consultants do. And that's not a bad thing whatsoever. But setting office hours and respecting them and sticking to them, it's hard when you're at home because you can literally just work from an extra room, but you're still, you know, with your family. But then closing that door, turning off the computer at the end of the night, turning off your phone during specific hours, you have to be able to turn work off. So that's something I'm definitely trying to get better at. So setting office hours, do it now. Again, print out a calendar for a week, set those times in your calendar and respect them. And that's something I'm definitely learning how to do with my team. If you guys text me, I will text you back when I'm working. But if you're just texting me just to text me, I might not get back to you as quick as you'd like me to, but chances are if you're texting me one-offs, those questions and those answers can be found easily just by looking in the right place. So I'm going to definitely let you guys figure out a lot of those questions for yourselves, because I give you a ton of resources. I know you know how to use them. Again, like I said before, concentrate on income-producing activities. Don't worry about baskets or all this kind of crazy stuff. Just work on picking up the phone, booking parties, work on hostess coaching those parties. Hostesses don't necessarily know what they're doing when it comes to hostessing a party or being a hostess for a party. We probably think they do because they volunteered and they went to a party, but they don't know that they have to invite people sometimes. They think that we invite people to their party. So making sure you're hostess coaching, and that's going to make you more money in the long run. It's a better use of your time. Recruiting interviews, working and coaching your team members, those are income producing activities. Putting stamps on things, not income producing. All right, yes, mailing out back orders, income producing, because if people don't get their back orders, they're gonna be pissed and they're gonna talk bad about you. Shopping for office supplies, not income producing. So if you can delegate that, do it. This is hard for me, but ignoring low priority items. So not just delegating it, but ignoring them altogether. Like if you get sucked into Facebook, set up a timer for your Facebook. Put it on your phone that you have 15 minutes when the timer goes off. Respect it, log off of Facebook. Oh my God, this one was huge for me. And some people are like, oh my God, how do I live? How do I live? Turning off your notifications on your phone. Turn them off. All right, so the only notifications I get right now are texts and alarms. So if someone likes a status on Facebook, my phone does not chirp. I don't need it to chirp because it takes 7 to 14 minutes to come back from a distraction. So if I'm sitting here doing data entry, if I'm sitting here like talking to a potential new team member and my phone's going off and I'm like, oh, hold on, someone liked my post on Facebook, then I won't remember what the hell I was talking about. And I might have lost that. It's disrespectful if I'm face-to-face with another person. So turn off your damn notifications. You only need text messages. You can check your Facebook when you're like in line waiting to check out at the grocery store, and you can see who liked your photos. Same with Instagram or Twitter, because you're not going to be running your business off of Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. But if I have set office hours where I'm really trying to focus on everything, this thing is silent. I love the fact that I can even turn the vibrations off. So, and I can set a time for that where my phone won't tell me, I won't get incoming phone calls, I won't get texts, and I can set that for whatever time I want. And that honestly gave me a lot of my life back. I know that sounds so cheesy, but get in the habit of doing that. I know it sounds scary. It was really scary, but now I don't even notice it. But I will tell you, it pisses me off when I'm talking to someone and someone liked their Facebook post and their phone goes off and they want to check it and see who liked it. And I'm like, I'm sitting right here. Talk to me. Check your Facebook later. Ignore those low priority items. Another motto that you'll hear me say a lot is the level of engagement determines your level of success in the business. If Pure Romance is worth 15 minutes a week, you're only going to have that amount of success. If this is something that you really want to work for and succeed in, you have to give it the time it deserves. And that includes you being engaged in your business and doing the work that comes with it, the back end work, the data entry, just the stuff that you don't want to do. You need to be a master of your entire business before you're able to delegate it, but you have to be able to develop a system and clearly communicate that system once you are able to start delegating it to someone else. So coming up with a to-do list, everything that you have to do from beginning party to an end of party. I think even my hostess spreadsheet or my hostess checklist that I do before every party, it changes about every 6 months because I think of something else I need to do. And I'm a checklist type of gal. So I can check it off and then know exactly what I'm doing. Another thing that we always say is the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So what that means is if you start bringing in team members, which is amazing, they're looking to you, all right? So because you guys are all my first line, which is awesome and I love you, your girls are going to look to you the same way that you would look to me to be your role model. So don't think that they're going to look past you and look to me. They're looking at you. So if they don't see you at team meetings, if they don't see you at corporate trainings, if they don't see you engaged on Facebook, if they don't see you ever, then they're going to think that's the way to run a business. And we all know that's not the way to run a successful business. So showing up, they'll see your name on the newsletter, and they will notice if your name is not on the newsletter. So making sure that you are setting goals for yourself and keeping them is going to help be a role model for your team members too. So just kind of keep that in mind. And that's something that I take to heart. So I want you guys to see that I'm constantly out there working my business, because this is full-time for me. This is my career. I know it's not like that for many of you. But there's still plenty of ways to be engaged in this business, even if it's not going to be your full-time gig. We do have a fantastic sisterhood in this business, one that crosses state lines and international date lines. We've got consultants all over the place, and the sisterhood is unrivaled. In my previous life, I sold Avon for a few years, and I just remember it being so territorial and not really supportive. It was really just kind of like, oh, sign up under me, and then we kind of cut you loose. And that might have just been my sponsor. But it was really hard for me to feel like I could get my feet under me in this business. But when I started with Pure Romance, I knew that, you know, the sponsor that I signed up under, she's really sweet. She's really nice. I just met her at a party. She had an initial meeting where I met Melinda Kennedy and Amanda Jones, because we had all signed up like within a month of each other. So she had this meeting at her house, and I got to meet these girls, and they're still active in their business, whereas our sponsor is no longer active, which is totally fine. She had life that happened, and that's cool. But getting to meet those girls at that initial team meeting really helped me have other people to bounce ideas off of. And then I started meeting other people, and that's how Beth and I became really good friends. And then I started going to Beth's sponsors meetings up in Asheville, and then I met the girls in Charlotte and realized, oh my gosh, that's my team. That's who I rolled up to. I finally got to meet my new sponsor. And then I started meeting these girls at, you know, other regional meetings and the corporate bus tours. And now I've got really good friends in Pure Romance that live all over the place, which has just been so amazing. And it's not competitive, and we're all here to help each other. And it's not like, oh, I can't tell you all my trade secrets. So I freaking love that. And I really encourage you guys to meet other girls and other women who are consultants throughout the world that are doing this, because you're going to get so much great information from them, but it helps build the sisterhood and bond, which I really think is something truly special and unique to Pure Romance. But with that, we do have expectations of sisterhood. So, and that's not just, you know, a corporate thing. That's definitely a team thing too, is we're all in this together. We're all trying to help each other succeed. So if you've got baggage or if you've got beef with somebody, don't ever let that affect the team. Don't participate in gossip. Don't participate in hearsay. There's lots of stuff that gets brought to me as a leader, but I'm never going to put that back on you guys. I really don't like gossip. It makes me so angry, and I feel like this was a really weird year when it came to gossip. But I realized how much time I wasted trying to defend my team members and trying to defend myself to other people, that honestly, the people who had issues with me or my team members weren't on my team and didn't make me money. So I don't know why I was so concerned with that. So I'm not going to deal with that. If you have an issue with me, if you have an issue with anybody else on this team, talk to them about it. And if you can't talk to them about it, then you don't have an issue with them. I won't really stand for that. And I won't stand for, you know, cross teams. So if you have an issue with another person who's a consultant or they stole someone from you, that's not what this is about. Your customers are able to shop with whomever they want to, and if they chose someone else over you, then you need to think long and hard why that may have happened. Or if someone decided to sign with another consultant instead of you, it's not the other consultant's fault. You may have just dropped the ball with communicating with that person, or they just didn't feel a connection with you. So just don't take it personally. It happens. It's life. Karma always comes back, so you just want to be the best person you can be. But you need to maintain a friendly demeanor. We're all here to be sisters, and I know sisters will have some drama, but I ain't got time for that. All right, we're gonna be like the most purest, lovingest example of sisterhood ever. When it comes to trading and exchanging products, I want to make sure you guys read the policies on that and you stay up to date. Remember that you cannot sell products to other consultants. One of our team members, Wen, was super sweet. She brought me a Coldplay that I needed, and this is $24 retail, and so I gave her a hot heart and spicy dice, which is $24 retail. So I was able to exchange this or trade this for equal retail amount. Not what I paid for it, not what she paid for it, but retail amount. So just keeping that kind of stuff as a common courtesy. If you have to ship with someone, like ship something to someone, that's great. But always try to go local when it comes to trading and exchanging your stuff, just so you save money on shipping, because some people will kind of screw you over on that sometimes. But just review the policies on trading and exchanging. If you are looking and trading like over 3 things at a time, just place an order, okay? Don't be traveling. And I know I know Jamie does this, and I love you, and I'm not trying to call you out, but I know Jamie's been driving over Timbuktu to trade things. And I'm like, girl, you're wasting so much more money in gas. You could have placed an order and saved money. So just keep that in mind. If you're driving everywhere to trade things and you're trading things for other people to trade things, you don't need to be doing that. Just focus on your business. If this is something like was discontinued and I needed it, so I was able to do that real quick. But that's why we've got the team. So just make sure you're doing everybody right, because karma will come back and get you. So one of the things that we had done as a team previously, we had tried doing like a quarterly book club, because there was a lot of us that were interested in learning more about developing ourselves as leaders. And that was great. It just kind of fell to the wayside. It wasn't really a passion for anybody. So even if we don't have a formal book club going forward, I would encourage you, if this is something that you're looking at really following through with and using Pure Romance as a huge income producer for you, I would really encourage you to try to pick up a book every quarter. Honestly, a book every month. If you need suggestions, I could totes help you with that. But that's going to be your homework. Is oh, that's perfect. We'll have plenty of time for the Q&A because our meeting's almost done. But to read a book a month on how to better your business. I actually built that into my schedule. Friday mornings is my professional development time. I have 3 hours set aside to read. Ideally, I'd like to split that up and be able to read a little bit every day instead of once a week. But this is time that I dedicate like solely. I'll pick up this book whenever I can in between, but I've got 3 hours on Friday mornings where I turn off my notifications and I sit down with a book and snuggle with the dog and learn how to better my business. Books on tape, again, are fantastic, especially as you're driving to parties. And the other bit of homework I would encourage you guys to do is to turn off your non-essential notifications on your phone and your computer. If you've got little flags that pop up in the corner of your computer when something happens, Skype, oh my God, Skype does that anytime someone's online. Turn off your notifications because you don't need to check that. I know that Dropbox did it too. If you guys have Dropbox, if you have a shared folder and someone's messing with your shared folder, it'll let you know. Turn them off. You just don't need them. They're just time sucks and it takes forever to bounce back. Other things that I've seen other top leaders do is they set like an autoresponder on their email that they check their email at 2 times a day. So like once in the morning and once in the afternoon. And it just auto-responds to every single email that gets sent to them is, hey, I check my emails at 11 and 3. So expect a response from me at those times. And then that's it. So you just check those emails, give yourself 30 minutes. Don't be sitting there waiting for your email and hitting refresh when you're expecting something. Check it twice a day. You don't need to check it 16 times a day. Especially if the only notifications you get are like payment anytime you take a payment. You don't need to see that. I actually turn those off. I have those automatically because it doesn't need to look like I have 20 new email messages when they're all payment notifications. So just turn that kind of crap off. So with that, I am so excited for you guys wrapping up this call number 8, and we'll start next week with call number 1 again. So new consultants that want to kind of hop on and do it all in consecutive order. More power, chronological, I guess. More power to you. But I'm excited to close out this first round of webinars. I hope this was helpful to you guys. I will be sending out a survey through SurveyMonkey to get your feedback on it. So whether you're on one call or all 8 of them, I definitely want to hear about it and let me know your thoughts on it. And with that, I'm going to open it up for Q&A. So I will unmute you guys. And if you've got questions, you're welcome to answer them at this time. We've got 7 minutes left before the video automatically turns off. So if we run longer than that, then we can just log back in to using the same link. But then once this meeting ends, I will post it to YouTube and the Facebook page. So thanks for sticking with me, and we're open for Q&A. Any questions? Awesome.
I don't have any.
Nope. That's cool. Anybody else?
I think I'm clear. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I've never done this before. I think I'm good. I caught the very, very tail end, so I don't really have any questions on what I caught, at least.
That's okay, girl. Awesome. Well then, as there are no questions, I'll go ahead and I'll end this meeting. As always, you guys are welcome to send me a message or shoot me a text, and I'll answer it when I am able. But thank you guys for participating, and I might see some of you guys next week for call number 1 again, which is great for newer consultants. And I hope you guys are excited about the big founder sale this week. It should be really awesome for our business, and I can't wait.
I reached out to a lot of girls today, so I got a lot of no's, but I'm closer to my yes again.
Even better. Well, this will be a great week to kind of build our business and help set some goals, and I can't wait to chat with you guys more about that on our team page. But with that, I'm going to stop recording this so we can get it posted to the YouTubes, and I'll see you guys really, really soon. Bye.
Bye.